Hello, everybody. Welcome to another reaction. Episode 101 of the Super Sam Sports Encore podcast. Watch party of the one ranked Houston Cougars versus 22 ranked Auburn Tigers. As always, if y'all came over from my last watch party that I finished up just a few minutes ago, we were doing a watch party for the Ohio State Buckeyes versus Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Ohio State ended up winning that game in a nail biter win, 1 point game, 64-63. That was nail biter game, definitely by far if I've ever seen one. And now we're doing Houston versus Auburn, so I'm very excited for this one. Another very good, in my opinion, two more teams that are pretty even with each other as far as like talent and stuff. But not only that, I wouldn't be surprised if we see what we saw in the Ohio State game, which was constant back and forth. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the same thing in this game. I feel like this game will be just as tough, if not even tougher of a game than the um, Ohio State Notre Dame game. Hmm. Huh, that's funny. So I don't think you guys heard that, obviously, but the announcers were just mentioning how this is for college women's basketball. West Virginia was taking on Duke. They got into like a big like brawl. West Virginia's entire bench got ejected, which means they finished out the game with just 5 players. They still pulled off the upset over Duke. That's absolutely insane. Give props to West Virginia women's basketball team for sure for that. Okay, for some reason it's like playing the audio of a women's basketball game while it's showing the Houston game. It's really weird. Hold on. Let me see. Join live. There we go. Okay. That was weird. All right, here we go. Friendly reminder: this is for the this is for the this game is in the RX Benefits Battleground 2K25 tournament. Believe it was. Um, but yeah, Houston with a 2 starts it off, leading 2-0. Auburn 2 point miss, but offensive rebound, and then the 2 is good. We're all tied up 2-2. Houston starting 5. Kingston Flemings, Milos Uzan, Emmanuel Sharp, Chris Kanak Jr., and Joseph Tuglas, just starting 5 for the Houston Cougars. All right, we're all tied up 2-2, and outbounds Auburn stays with the Cougars. We're tied 2-2. Tied 2-2 through the first minute of this first half. Fleming for two is good. Auburn leads 4-2. No, sorry, that was Houston. Houston leads 4-2. Never mind. Auburn for three. Deep three off the mark. Houston defensive rebound. Fleming's passes. 3-pointer off the mark. Auburn defensive rebound. Auburn basketball. For three is good. Auburn takes the lead 5-4. 5-4 Tigers over Cougars. The same scenario here that I was mentioning in the Ohio State game. Auburn for two misses. Floater foul on Houston, I think it was. So Auburn basketball. Same thing I was mentioning here about the Ohio State game. Both teams going into this game today are both 3-0. So no matter who wins this, whether it's Houston or Auburn, will not only start the season off 4-0, stay undefeated, and have a 4-game winning streak start the season, but also whoever wins between Houston and Auburn will give the other team their first loss of the season. 2-pointer for Auburn is off the mark. Houston defensive rebound, down by 1, 5-4. Houston looking for a shot. Passes. Emmanuel Sharp deep three is drained. Houston takes the lead back at 7-5. There's a three that was smothered at the rim by Telco. Still, and that's Susie. Susie seven misses that one. Still 7-5. Houston over Auburn. Auburn basketball out of bounds, tipped by Houston, so it'll stay Auburn basketball, tipped by Uzan. Do, do, do. Auburn for three is off the mark. That way out of bounds. Houston ball. Houston for two off the mark. Tugler off the mark. Off the mark. Auburn defensive rebound. Good lord. For two is off the mark. Off the mark. And Houston defensive rebound. Houston ball again. Passes it to Uzan. Passes it back to Tugler. Off the mark. Off the mark. Auburn comes with the defensive rebound again. Still 7-5 Houston over Auburn. Auburn for three is off the mark. That will be a foul call on Houston. So a turnover. Wait, no, I don't know. A timeout call here, and they will take their first commercial break of the game. 7-5 Houston over Auburn. 7-5. 1 ranked Houston Cougars over 22 ranked Auburn Tigers. Ouch. 15-22 to in the first half. 7-5. 1 ranked Houston still over 22 ranked Auburn. Auburn at the free throw line misses the first one there. Sebastian Williams Adams is the one at the free throw line. Misses that one. So there goes over 2 at the line. Samson doesn't look too happy. Auburn for two. Nice shot there. Well, sorry, that was Houston. I get the man. Houston now leads 9-5. Deflection from Sharp. It'll stay Auburn basketball. But one thing I was about to mention just now was what I'm getting confused is normally I is for some reason I think the black jerseys are Auburn and the white jerseys are Houston, but it's not. I guess that's mainly because I've seen Auburn and Houston's black jerseys look the same. Same with Auburn, Houston's white jerseys look the same. So that's a 2 pointer. That's off the mark for Houston. Auburn with the defensive rebound. And that's a 3 pointer for Auburn. So it's now 9-8. Step back two, in and out. Foul will go against Houston. 13:40 go in the first half. Alright. Houston for three off the mark. Off the mark. Auburn defensive rebound. And they're going. 2 pointer is off the mark. Foul on looks like Houston. So Auburn will go to the free throw line. Auburn will go to the free throw line. All right, makes the first one. Well tied up 9-9. If he makes this one, he'll give Auburn the lead again 10-9 by 1 point. Goes 2 for 2 at the line. Auburn leads by 10-9 over Houston. Houston ball. Uzan, 3 point off the mark. Whipped away by Auburn ball. Fleming is fouled. Foul on Auburn, so Houston will now go to the free throw line. 12:20 to go in the first half. 22 ranked Auburn beating 1 ranked Houston 10-9. Misses the first one. Sampson does not look happy at all. Um, makes that one well tied up at 10. Very low scoring game so far, which in a way is actually kind of what I expected. I kind of expected both defenses to come out and kind of shut down both offenses in a way, kind of like this. Um, 12-10, Houston over Auburn. 11:40 left in the first half. And Auburn finishes with a 2, so they lead 16-14, 9 minutes to go in the first half. Okay, again, close game. Like I said, close game. Like I said, I predicted it. And that is a 3-pointer for Auburn, 19-16. All right, let's look at some MLB news, see if we can find some. All right, so does Spencer Jones have a place in the Yankees 2026 outfield? This is an article by per Joe Trezza of MLB.com. It says the Yankees outfield, excuse me, the Yankees outfielder could have a seriously new look in 2026 with Cody Bellinger and Trent Grisham free agents and Jason Dominguez's role less certain than it appeared to be this time a year ago. Another question mark: where might Spencer Jones fit in? Yankees general manager Brian Cashman told reporters recently that Jones, the Yankees' number 4 prospect and number 99 overall per MLB pipeline, should arrive at spring training with a chance to win a starting job in the team's outfield. In fact, Cashman said Jones could have gotten the call down the stretch in 2025 had the Yankees' outfield not been as crowded as it was. And why not? The 24-year-old at Jones that put together one of the most impressive offensive seasons in the minors, hitting .274, .362, .571 with 35 home runs and 29 stolen bases in 116 games between AA Somerset and AAA Scranton slash Wilkes Bar. He crushed 19 homers in 67 games for Scranton and came out a homer shy of the MILB lead. He also finished fifth in the minors in slugging, sixth in total bases 250, seventh in extra base hits 59, and eighth in runs with 102. Drafted 25th overall out of Vanderbilt in the 2022 draft, the in Cincinnati, California native signed for $2.8 million and has totaled 68 homers and 87 steals in his 3 full minor league seasons. But he's also one of the most strikeout prone hitters in the minors, piling up 379 punchouts in 240 games over the past 2 seasons. All right. Oops. Okay. Let me see. All right, let's go back to the game. 7 minutes and 57 seconds left in the first half. 22 ranked Auburn leads 1 ranked Houston 19-17. And that is a two-pointer for Houston, well tied up at 19. He's in for three off the mark. Auburn defensive rebound, but a foul on Houston. They just said that's gonna send Calvin Sampson over the edge. Send Calvin Sampson over the edge. He just threw his hands up in the air. Kevin Overton at the free throw line for Auburn and makes that first one. It's now 20. They now lead 20-19. Ranked Auburn leads one ranked Houston. They just went to the line there. Now 21. They lead 21-19. 6 minutes. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the first half. And that is a two-pointer. Nice job there by Houston. We're all tied up again, 21-21. They take the lead. Houston for three. It's now 24-21. They lead with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left here in the first. Now the steal by Houston, the two-pointer is good. They lead 26-21. Timeout taken by the Auburn Tigers. Houston on a run here. Lead 26-21 over 22 ranked Auburn. 5.5 to go. 5.5 minutes to go here in the first half. I'm going to be right back, guys. Alright, let's look at some more news for uh, the MLB. So this is per Steve Gilbert. The article is what would be the logic behind a Ketel Marte trade. Per Steve Gilbert of MLB.com, it says the GM meetings, which wrapped up Thursday, signed the signal the start of the hot stove season as teams that get a feel for what the trade market will look like and conversations about possible deals begin. The storyline for the Diamondbacks at the meetings revolved around whether they might end up trading All-Star second baseman Ketel Marte and might inbox what was filled with fan questions about the possibility. Let's take a look at some of the most frequently asked questions on the topic. Why would they trade one of their best players if they are trying to compete for a postseason berth in 2026? The answer: the Diamondbacks need to add pitching this offseason for 2 straight seasons. They have wasted outstanding production from the offense with pitching struggles. Some of that can be attributed to injuries to key pitchers. If starter Corbin Burns and co-closers AJ Puck and Justin Martinez had been healthy, the results for the pitching staff probably look a whole lot better. Now, Zach Gallen and Morel Kelly are both free agents, leaving the Diamondbacks with a need for at least 2 starters to go with Eduardo Rodriguez and Ryan Nelson and Brandon Pfaadt. Burns could return around midseason along with the 2 closers, but that's not something the team can count on. Arizona's ownership stretched the bounds of the payroll budget last season by signing Burns to a 6-year, $210 million contract that pushed the opening day payroll to a club record amount of around $195 million. So, there you go. That is a 3-pointer. Or maybe just 2. I don't know. 30-23, Houston over Auburn. Houston's on an 11-2 scoring run. 11-2 scoring run in the last 2 minutes, pretty much. And that will be a foul on Houston goaltending, so that'll automatically be 2 points for Auburn. So it's now 30. Excuse me. Now 30-25, 5-point game. 4:22 left in the first half. So this article says Verlander reunion could make sense for pitching needy Astros. Brian McTaggart, Astros writer and of MLB.com, it says Houston, should the Astros try to bring back a veteran right-hander Justin Verlander this offseason? Considering the Astros' need for starting pitching at depth, signing Verlander for a third stint in Houston makes sense for a lot of reasons. At the top of the list is that the Astros might not be in position to sign any of the big names on the pitching free agent market, given the expected contract links and financial commitment it would take. Verlander, who will turn 43 on February 20th, made 29 starts for the Giants last season and threw 152 innings. He was 4-11 with a 3.85 ERA after San Francisco, which signed him to a 1-year, $15 million deal in January, struggled to provide him with a consistent run support. He's 35 wins. He's 34 wins shy of reaching 300, which is a mark he has said he'd like to achieve. I think this is what Verlander said following his final start of 2025. Quote unquote, I think I can go out and make 29, 30 plus starts and give our team a chance to win for a few more years. Then it's possible. I'm not going to say it's not. It's definitely harder though. If you make 29 starts, you'd like to win 10 at 15 games. It wasn't in the cards this year, but maybe this year wasn't meant to be for wins. quote unquote, maybe this year was meant to be a kind of for health and kind of refining of myself and getting used to taking the ball every time. Sorry, every 5, 6 days and just kind of going out there and being able to log some innings. Maybe that will carry me where I need to go. Verlander went 0-7 with a 4.70 ERA and 15 starts in the first half for San Francisco and missed 2 weeks with a right pectoral strain. But he got back on track after the All-Star break, going 4-4 with a 2.99 ERA over his final 14 starts. He delivered his best work down the stretch, logging a 1.96 ERA over his last 7 outings with San Francisco. A 20-year veteran, Verlander had a tremendous success in his 6+ seasons in Houston, which included winning 2 World Series titles 2017-2022 and 2 American League Cy Young Awards in 2019 and 2022, pitching his 3rd career no-hitter and reaching 3,000 strikeouts. He's 73-28 with a 2.71 ERA and 130 career starts with Houston, which acquired him toward the end of 17 from the Tigers and at the 23 deadline from the Mets. The Astros are expected to lose lefty Framber Valdez in free agency after he pitched a team high 192 innings last season. Houston's GM Dana Brown is hoping healthy seasons from Spencer Arrighetti, 35 and 1/3 innings in 2025, and Christian Javier, 37 innings, can help cover some of those innings behind ace Hunter Brown, but there's need for some arms beyond that. Brown said earlier this week at the GM meetings in Las Vegas, quote unquote, "We'll try to go for the cream of the crop, but it doesn't always work." So 3:47 to go here in the first half. All right. 3:47 to go in the first half. Auburn just made that. One-ranked Houston leads by 1 possession, 3 points, 30-27 over Auburn. Over 22 ranked Auburn. 3:40 to go in the first half. Houston Flemings for 2 is good. 32-27. $2.49 to go in the first half. One-ranked Houston leads 22-ranked Auburn. 32-30. Murphy with a 2. Well tied up again at 32. .221 to go in the first half. 32-32 tie game. Houston versus Auburn. All right. Uh, let's see. Here we go. The number one question facing playoff teams that didn't win it all. This is an article per Thomas Harrigan of MLB.com. It says the Dodgers ended 2025 right where they finished 24 atop the baseball world. Another World Series championship puts them in the familiar position of setting the pace for the rest of the league as the offseason begins. For everyone else, the next few months are about trying to close that gap. That includes the 11 teams that reached the postseason in 2025 but couldn't break through, while those clubs may look at 2025 as a stepping stone to bigger and better things in 2026. History shows that nothing is guaranteed from one year to the next. With that in mind, let's take a look at the biggest offseason question those 11 clubs are facing as they aim to move forward in 2026. Toronto Blue Jays lost in World Series. The question is, will the good vibes of 2025 carry into the offseason? I'm not going to read anything. I'm just going to read the questions. Seattle Mariners lost in the ALCS. Their question is, how different will their lineup be? How different will their lineup look in 2026? Milwaukee Brewers lost in the NLCS. Their question is, will they try to keep their cycle of productive trades going? Yes or no? Detroit Tigers lost in the ALDS. Build around Screwball for a 2026 run or consider a trade. Chicago Cubs lost in the ALDS. Their question is, can they add a frontline arm? Yankees lost in the ALDS. Run it back with Bellinger, or try for a bigger strike. Philadelphia Phillies lost in NLDS. Their question, will they keep the status quo? I think that's how you say it, on offense, or shake things up. Boston Red Sox lost in the AL Wildcard Series. Will the Devers trade clear the way for a splashy offseason? San Diego Padres lost in NL Wildcard Series, sorry. How will they fill out their rotation? Cleveland Guardians lost in the AL Wildcard Series. Are any major offensive reinforcements coming? Cincinnati Reds lost in NL Wildcard. This is the final one. Will they make a bold move for a big bat? Those are the questions. We'll find out this offseason. One free agent each team could resign this winter. All right, I'm gonna read that after this right here. Um, and that is shot clock violation. Shot clock violation, and Houston will have the basketball with 19.7 left here in the first half, up by 1 over Auburn, 36-35. So this is not a coach's challenge here. The officials just want to check and make sure the shot clock, make sure it didn't go out of bounds before the shot clock ran out. It looks like it goes out of bounds like right at 0.6, 0.6 seconds left on the shot clock. So they're going to run it back. It looks like 0.6 left. Looks like they may put it at 1 second. Misses Houston with the basketball. No shot clock. They're going to go for the final shot. 10 seconds left. 36-35. Houston leads by 1. Final shot for 3 is drained. Houston with a 3-pointer to end off the first half. They lead 39-35 over 22 ranked Auburn at the half. All right. All right, here we go. So, article per one free agent, each team could resign this winter. Per Mark France at MLB.com. We'll spend plenty of time in the weeks and months ahead talking about free agents joining new clubs, but a number of players on this year's market may wind up signing back with their former teams. Here's a look at all 30 clubs in which incumbents could make the most sense to return for 2026. All right, so American League East. For the Orioles, we got Zach Eflin. For the Red Sox, we got Alex Bregman. Yankees, Cody Bellinger. Yankees, Cody Bellinger. The Rays, Adrian Hauser. Blue Jays, Bo Bichette. American League Central. For the White Sox, Martin Perez. Guardians, Lane Thomas. Tigers, Kyle Finnegan. Royals, Mike Yastrzemski. Twins, Christian Vasquez. AL West. For the Astros, it says Victor Caratini. Angels, Kenley Jansen. A's, Sean Newcomb. Mariners, Josh Naylor. Rangers at Tyler Mahle. National League East, Braves, Rafael Iglesias. Marlins, none. The Marlins do not have any players from their 2025 roster who are eligible for free agency. Mets, Pete Alonso. Phillies, JT Realmuto. Nationals, Josh Bell. National League Central, Brad Keller. Reds, Emilio Pagan. Brewers, Brandon Woodruff. Andrew McCutchen for the Pirates. Miles Mikolas for the Cardinals. Moving to the NL West, Jalen Beeks for the D-backs. Tyro Estrada for the Rockies. For the Dodgers, Miguel Rojas. I can see that. Luis Arias for the Padres. I can see that too. Giants, Justin Verlander. I don't see that. I don't really see that. Uh, these are the top five free agent starting pitchers per Travis Saltchick of MLB.com. It says that there is perhaps no better way to improve a ball club during the offseason than by signing a quality starting pitcher. The Baseball World Series reminded of that again with Yoshinobu Yamamoto heroics in Game 6 and 7 of the World Series. Even with innings totals trending down, the starting pitcher remains the sport's nightly protagonist who typically plays an oversized role in determining wins and losses. And in the postseason, when the best arms take on a greater share of workload, they become even more important, like Yoshinobu Yamamoto. I believe in elite arms that being key to playoff rotations. One longtime scout told MLB Chronicle, "It's rare for pennant winners to lack tip-top pedigree arms. You do not win titles with a bunch of seventh rounders that you coached up. You can win the regular season with them, but not titles." There you go. While there is perhaps not a peak of his powers, future Hall of Famer on the market, there are excellent options within a relatively flat top tier. But without a clear cut, clear cut ordering, it makes choosing wisely particularly important for hopeful contenders. How to rank the top of this flat class. Ask five different execs, and you might get five different rankings. I surveyed a number of evaluators and dug into the numbers to order the top of this class based on their consensus. So, number one, we got Dylan Cease. Number two, we got Framber Valdez. Number three, we got Tatsuya Imai. Number four, we got Ranger Suarez. Number five, we got Michael King. And that's it. That was that. Um, how the Mets could address rotation needs for next season. Thomas Harrigan of MLB.com. It says the Mets rotation was the engine behind a hot start in 2025, only for it to unravel and help sink their playoff hopes. Now, President of Baseball Operations David Stearns faces the task of stabilizing a staff that isn't lacking in depth but is clouded by uncertainty, especially at the top. It's arguably the Mets' most pressing concern this winter, even with first baseman P. Alonso and closer Edwin Diaz hitting free agency and the center field job wide open. Here are options Stearns could consider to address New York's rotation issues. 1. Stick with the recent approach. 2. Aim for the top of the free agent market. 3. Lean on the kids. 4. Excuse me, 4, use their improving farm system for trade. And just to answer what they mean, lean on kids. So Nolan McLean, MLB Pipeline's number 11 overall prospect. Um, All right, 4. Use their improving farm system for a trade. Um, that's it. Dun, 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 dun. All right, so let's take a look at the latest free agent trade rumors. So this one right here. Yankees reuniting with right-hand pitcher King is a real possibility. Report. According to the Athletics, this by the way, this is an article by the MLB.com. According to the Athletics, that Jim Bowden subscription required, a reunion between the Yankees and free agent star Michael King is a real possibility. However, the Yankees will face competition for the right-hander services, and per Sahadev Sharma and Patrick Mooney of the Athletic subscription required, King is someone that the Cubs have on their radar. King debuted in 2019 and spent his first 5 big league seasons with the Yankees, operating mostly as a reliever from 2022 to 23. He produced a 2.60 ERA over 83 appearances, including 9 starts. He was then traded to San Diego prior to the 2024 season as part of the package for Juan Soto, and was made a full-time starter. His first season in the rotation was a great one. King struck out 201 batters over 173 and two-third innings, had a 2.95 ERA, and finished 7th in the Cy Young voting. National League Cy Young voting. November 14th. Is there an early? Sorry, this season wasn't as kind to King, who was limited to 73 and one-third innings because of right shoulder and left knee inflammation. But this 30-year-old is still considered one of the top available starting pitchers in this year's class. He did receive the qualifying offer from the Padres, but he is expected to decline the qualifying offer by the decision deadline on Tuesday. November 14th. Is there an early front runner in the Tucker sweepstakes? The GM uh, the GM meetings in Las Vegas wrapped up on Thursday. There weren't any big deals struck on. Uh, now, what I was about to say was the GM meetings in Las Vegas wrapped up on Thursday. There weren't any big deals struck. But as far as the teams most interested in Tucker, one club's name kept coming up throughout the week, according to MLB.com's Mark Fansan, the Blue Jays. Quote unquote, you've heard the same teams named all week: the Yankees, the Phillies, the Dodgers. The one team I heard more than anybody else connected to Tucker was the Blue Jays, Feinstein said during Thursday's edition of MLB Tonight. All right. November 14th, Astros showing interest in Donovan to help balance lineup report. The Astros, who have a heavily right-handed lineup, are interested in acquiring Cardinals utility man Brendan Donovan, according to a report in the Athletic subscription required. Donovan, a left-handed hitter who posted .2 a .287, .353, .422 slash line in 515 play appearances for St. Louis last season is a career .282, .361, .411 hitter. Defensively, Donovan appeared mostly at second base last season, but he also saw times at shortstop and in left field. He has also played first base, third base, and right field during his major league career. The Cardinals are reportedly open to trade offers for multiple players. If a deal were to happen between the clubs, it would likely nec- uh, nec- necessitate another move by the Astros, whose infield is already at capacity. Could infielders Christian Walker or Isaac Paredes potentially be on the trade block this offseason? So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm going to close that tab. Excuse me. All right. All right. Well, through the first minute of the second half, a three-pointer for Auburn is drained. One ranked Houston now leads 22 ranked Auburn by three by one possession at 41-38. That was Kevin Overton for Auburn that made that three-pointer. Houston basketball for two. Fleming's off the mark. That'll be out of bounds, and it will stay Houston basketball off. Last set by Houston, so stay Houston ball. That's a 2-pointer. That is good for Houston. They now lead 43-38. And that is good. He got it. And that is good. 17-20 left. Under 17-20 to go in the game. 46 to 46 point lead for Houston over Auburn. A 2-possession game. 2-possession and 6-point game. And that's a turnover on Houston, so it will be Auburn basketball again. And that's a 2-pointer for Auburn. It's now 46-42. Bum, 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 bum. Cannot complete the 3-point play right there. Sampson still is not look like he's very 2-pointer for Auburn is now 46-44. Houston's collapsing slowly. Houston's collapsing slowly over here. Sixteen 26 left in the game. 46-44. One ranked Houston over 22 ranked Auburn. Auburn for two. Off the mark. Houston defensive rebound. There's no one close. Defensive rebound. Cougars. For two. The dunk is good. Tugler is good. Ran to the cameraman. 48-44. 48-44. 4-point lead. And that is a foul called on, looks like Auburn. Or at least they were showcasing the Auburn players. I'm going to guess it was on Auburn, on Freeman. But it is 48-44 Houston over Auburn. They're going to take a timeout and a commercial break here. Sharp for two is good. One ranked Houston now leads 50 to 46. 50 to 46 with under 15 minutes to go in the game. Coming up next, for those who want to see the game coming up next after this one, is UNLV versus Memphis. That was my bet. Should be a pretty solid matchup between UNLV and Memphis. Let me see. UNLV, Memphis. Here we go. Yeah, coming up at 4, at 3:29. Coming up at 4 p.m. Central Time, it says is UNLV versus Memphis. The matchup predictor says Memphis 83.8%, UNLV only 16.2%. being played at the FedEx Forum in Memphis, Tennessee, home of the Memphis Tigers. Memphis Tigers versus UNLV Rebels. $14. That is off the mark. Man, everyone keeps missing. And now it's a freaking brawl. And now it's oh lord. Excuse me. Dun, 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 dun. So the Bills beat the Buccaneers. This is football. The Bills beat the Buccaneers 44-32. Josh Allen fired up after his sixth touchdown, 3 rushing, 3 passing versus the Buccaneers. That's insane. So the score right now for the Houston Auburn game, because I know I haven't been paying attention too much, which is my bad. 11:58 to go in the second half in the game. 55-49, Houston over Auburn. So still pretty close game. Still pretty close game. Not gonna lie. Uh, mm, Houston made it too, so it's now 57-49. All right, 2-pointer there for Auburn. It's now 57-51. 11 minutes, 20 seconds left in the game. So Sebastian Williams Adams for Auburn that made that too. 2-pointer for Auburn, 57-53. That was Todd at Pettiford. 10:40 left in this game. You got 2-pointer for Houston again. That was Uzan. Now it's 59-53. Milos Uzan in the first half had only 2 points so far. In the second half, has way more points. Has 6. A foul on Houston, I think it said. Yeah, foul on Houston. They fouled him on a 3-point shot, so three free throw shots here. Three free throws here for Auburn. This is the first. Uh, 59-54 as he makes that one. He's 1 for 2. He will either go 2 for 3. He'll either finish here 2 for 3 or 1 for 3. Something 4-3. This is that one. He goes 1 for 3 at the line. Houston with the rebound. Houston ball. 59-54 as they lead with 10 minutes to go in the game. Uzan has the ball. Three-pointer from the corner is good. They lead 62-54. They lead now 62-54. Todd Pettiford for 2. 62-57. 9:15 left in the game. Bad job there by Auburn, by Houston. And Auburn got the steal, and bad job there. Passed it to the Houston player, so now Houston got the steal back. Short for 3 is off the mark. Auburn with the defensive rebound. What is happening? 2-point off the mark. Houston with the defensive rebound. No one is making anything. No one is having any success. Oh man, both Sampson and the Auburn head coach are both just probably losing their freaking minds right now. Auburn off the mark. Oh, sorry, Houston. Auburn defensive rebound. Again, black jerseys flip me off. Just confused the heck out of me just now. Pettiford for a deep three is off the mark, and that will be a Houston defensive rebound. Chris Snack Jr. passes it to Uzan. Will pass it to Sharp. For 2 is in and out. 2 players hit the ground hard. Tugler for Houston and someone for Auburn. I couldn't read the last name, but uh, they're gonna go on timeout, head to commercial break here. The score is 62. The score is one ranked Houston leads 22 ranked Auburn 62-57. 7 minutes and 34 seconds to go in the game. Right. 18 points, 6 assists for Kingston Fellish, I think. Okay, I've already lost his last name. Hold on. What? Hold on. I'm just gonna back up. Flemings, that's his name. All right, it's 62-58. Houston over Auburn. 7:20 to go in the game. Chocolate for two makes this now 64-58. Six and a half minutes to go in the game. 4-point game, 64-60 Cougars. Chocolate for two is off the mark. Auburn defensive rebound. Steelers beat the Bengals today 34-12. Jaguars beat the Chargers 35-6. Wow. 2-pointer for Auburn, 64-62. Herbert went 10 for 18, 81 yards. Wow. For the Chargers. Panthers beat the Falcons in overtime 30-27. 30-27. What are the Panthers' record? I wonder. That's just the soft topic from college basketball. But this is a sports channel, so I kind of want to know. What Panthers? 6-5 overall, 3-3 on the road now. So far this season, they've lost to the Jaguars 26-10. 26-10, lost to the Cardinals 27-22. Both of those were on the road. Beat the Falcons 30-0 at home. Lost to the Patriots on the road 42-13. Beat the Dolphins 27-24 and Cowboys 30-27 at home. Beat the Jets on the road 13-6. Lost to the Bills 40-9 on at home. Beat the Packers on the road 16-13. Lost to the Saints at home 17-7, and beat the Falcons today on the road at 30-27. The next game is at 7:15 p.m. Central Time on ESPN on the 24th against on the road in San Francisco against the 49ers. And then they have the Rams at home. So scores. All right, so right now it's 68-62. Houston over Auburn, 4:55 left in the game. Taking an official TV timeout right now. Ten ties and 8 lead changes in the first half. Houston has led the entire second half so far. Auburn has yet to grab the lead so far in the second half. 4 minutes, 50 seconds. A 3-pointer for Auburn is missed. 2-pointer is good. 68-64. 4-point lead for the Cougars. Cougars have 8 fouls remaining. Auburn only have 2. Usain for 3. I mean, is off the mark. Auburn defensive rebound. Auburn. Uh-oh. One of the Auburn players down and having a hard time getting up. Ouch. Hopefully he's good. Um, Four 14 left in the game at 68-64. Houston over Auburn. He's going to attempt to shoot the free throws. He makes the first one, 68-65. Hall, who went down on the floor hard. Is attempting to shoot these free throws. He makes both of them. So props to him, 68-66. 68-66. Krishan Hall now with 20 points overall. We've been live for 2 hours. We've been live for 2 hours and almost 2 hours and 6 minutes. That ball's out of bounds. The same last touch by Auburn, so it will stay with Houston with 3:48 left. 3:48 left on the game clock, 20 left on the shot clock. Sharp with the ball. Flemings for two makes it 60. Sorry, makes it. It's now 70-66. 4-point game. 2 possession. Kingston Fleming's now at 22 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists. For two is missed for a foul drawn on Houston. So that will be free throws for Williams Adams for Auburn. So Williams Adams will go to the free throw line, at least I assume. Williams Adams at the free throw line for Auburn. Misses it. Auburn, same thing with the announcers. Auburn is just having a very hard time today when it comes to the free throws. They cannot seem to make free throws to save their life. And they missed that one. They go 0-2 again at the line. 70-66 still. UNLV versus Memphis tip at 6. Tip off is at coming up at coming up at 4:10 p.m. Central Time in about 6 minutes from now. 3-pointer for Uzan is 73-66. His first 3-pointer of the game for Milos Uzan. Back to a 7-point lead. Auburn with the basketball. Looking for a shot. For three is off the mark. Auburn offensive rebound for three is off the mark. For two, oh no, for two is off the mark. A foul on the Cougars. There was so much chaos happening there. Free throws coming for the Tigers. At the free throw line, makes that first one 73-67. Kevin Overton is at the free throw line right now for Auburn. I believe. Yeah. Goes 2 for 2 there at the line, 73-68. Step back three, too strong. Off of Houston, it'll stay. Tiger off of what? I'm so confused. Off of Tugler. So it'll be Auburn basketball, right? Auburn Hall is not doing too good. He's trying to move around on the bench. Free throws for Auburn, misses the first one, 73-68. Still, again, Auburn is just has just been struggling today as far as the free throw line goes. They've been able to make every other shot, 3-pointers, 2-pointers, stuff like that, but they've had a very hard time with. They've had a very hard time with free throws. Timeout taken by Auburn, 73-69. Houston beating Auburn. A minute and 54 to go in the game. 1 year and 1 week ago today, Auburn was facing Houston. At the time, Auburn was ranked 11. Houston was ranked 4. And it was a nail biter all the way to the end. Auburn ended up winning the game at 74-69 over Houston in the Mattress Firm Battleground 2K25 tournament. And fast forward to today, right now, Houston's winning 73-69 over Auburn with a minute and 54 to go. So it is possible we could have. It is possible we could have the same score, the same final score as 1 year and 1 week ago. Just the opposite results. Instead of Auburn winning, it would be Houston. But we'll see what happens. Houston basketball passed it to Short, passed it back to Uzan, passed it to Flemings. Flemings has the basketball right now. Passed it back to Uzan. Uzan passed it to Sharp. Off the mark. Bad passing there. Auburn with the steal. 2 is off the mark. A foul on Houston. Bad job. Bad handling right there by. Bad job handling the ball there by Sharp. Overton that makes that one 73-70. And then second free throws in and out. 73-70. 3-point game. 1 possession game. Houston over Auburn. Timeout taken here by Houston. A minute and 18 to go in the game. Right now on ESPN News and the ESPN app is UNLV versus Memphis. For those who want to see that, this game, the ESPN will switch over to that game as soon as this game is done. Flemings with basketball for Houston. Bad passing there off of Houston, and it's Auburn basketball. Houston is crumbling. Houston is crumbling. And Sampson is ticked. A minute to go. A minute and 5 to go, to be exact. One minute to play. Dunk by Auburn. Nice passing there. 73 to 72. 50 seconds left. I would say Auburn needs the foul. I don't think they're gonna, but I think they should. Again, do I think they're gonna? No. But shot. Dude, he almost lost the ball again. For three is off the mark and it goes out of bounds. Air ball. Auburn basketball. 23 seconds left. 23 seconds left in the game. Houston leads Auburn 73-72. Kelvin Sampson will use his third timeout of the game to talk it over with his team as far as what he wants to do. They're trying to figure out what they can do on defense to stop this Auburn offense that is completely fired up and just because now they got adrenaline pumping and now they're motivated and stuff now because they've gotten this close. So now they're on fumes. On fumes. Exciting fumes. Gotta go quick. Gotta go quick. Gotta go quick. Gotta go quick. All right, Auburn with the ball. 20 seconds left in the game. For two, off the mark, out of bounds. It'll stay Auburn basketball with 13.9 to go. It was off of Houston. It'll stay Auburn ball. 13.9 left. Auburn will take their final timeout of the game here to talk things through. We'll see what happens here. I mean, you kind of have almost no time left, so you kind of just gotta go. I would think. So I think whatever happens, at least in my opinion, whatever happens here, I think you just gotta go. Auburn's former head coach is in the stands watching this game right now. I want to say he retired. I think. Yeah, I believe he retired. I think. Remember, winner of this game will become 4-0, but not only that, will give the other team their first loss of the season. Here we go. Auburn knocked away by Houston again. It'll stay out. It'll stay Auburn basketball with 10.9 left in the game. Oh my gosh. It's Patterford for two off the mark. Nice job there by the Houston defense. They're most likely going to review the clock here. Mm. 1 second. 1 second. 1.0 left on the clock, which means Auburn's going to have a catch and shoot situation here. Or whoever gets it is going to have to catch it and then just immediately shoot the ball. Doesn't matter how far they are, just shoot it. Off the mark. Houston wins the game. Houston survives. That's it. Houston wins 73-72 and improves to 4-0 to start the season. Auburn earns their first loss. They're now 3-1 as they lose 73-72 over the one-ranked Houston Cougars. There you go, guys. Yeah, with 1 second left. So you inbound it. The Houston player, kind of I think, deflected it away from the Auburn player. Yeah, knocked it out of his hands. Houston did not play that well in this game, and I think they know that. So this is a huge, huge break for Houston. 73-72, Houston beats it. One ranked Houston beats 22 ranked Auburn. As always, guys, I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, that was the episode 101 episode of the Super Sam's Sports Encore podcast watch party of the one ranked Houston Jaguars. Oh my gosh, one ranked Houston Cougars and 22 ranked Auburn Tigers. Houston beats Auburn 73-72. As always, I hope you all enjoy. If you did, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. We'll be back here. Let me see. When does let's see, Houston plays again on the 20th. Ohio State plays again on the 20th. I think Baylor plays again on the 24th. Yes. So we'll see you guys on the 20th. We'll see you guys on the 20th for the Houston versus Rider game at 8 p.m. Central Time on TNT and True TV. And also before that, I believe, for the Ohio State game. Yes, before that Ohio State game, 7 p.m. Central Time. 7 p.m. Central Time, Big Ten Network against Western Michigan. And then 8 p.m. Central Time for Houston and Rider. So we'll see you all on the 20th. As always, guys, take care. Have a good rest of your day. And peace out, guys.